Good evening, everybody. I'm going to talk a little bit about some current events. And I'm going to do this with the backdrop of the American pastime and the American flag. In context, I hope you understand this. So, as if things weren't bad enough, because my words constantly get taken out of context, let me explain my position on Syrian refugees. But before I do, I'd like to address what President Feckless, for those who don't know what that word means, please go ahead and feel free to Google it, said at a national treaty today, in a national peace convention. He stated he had no idea, basically, what needs to be done about ISIS. He says he doesn't understand. I mean, this is the leader of the free world. So, my advice to you, Mr. President, it's time to put on your big boy pants. It's time to grow a set of testicles. And it's time to act. You need to lead the world. Not yourself on vacation. Lead the world. Now, regarding Syrian refugees and ISIS, why I don't want to allow 185,000 Syrian refugees here. Now, I've lost a few friends already over this. Facebook friends, so I really don't give too much of a shit. I'm going to try to keep the swearing to a minimum today, but I want you to understand something. This is important. For those who don't know what ISIS stands for, Google it. Google it. The last two letters stand for where they're from. This is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. These people are terrorists. For the people who are affected by the tragedy in Paris, my heart and prayers go out to you. Now, why don't we want to let 185,000 unvetted potential terrorists into our country? After all, Obama says that Muslims are no different than Christians. Quite the contrary, though. The Christian Bible, which is basically a second version of the Judaism Bible, does not advocate for the murder of non-believers. It does not advocate for the reward of a murderer. It does not make a martyr of a murderer. The religion and faith does have people who use God's name to kill and maim. They are not disciples of Christ or God. They know they're sinners. They choose to do so. There's a difference. To an Islamic radicalist, killing in the name of God makes them a hero. It's insanity, people. These aren't normal people we're dealing with. This is savagery. I'd liken the devout Muslim countries to the slave times in America. They put women to death for learning to read. They oppress their women and their young. They hate freedom. They hate free thought. This isn't us against them. This is freedom against an ideology that, for lack of a better term, it's a political movement. Their political movement is what you can call it a religion if you want. I call Muslim and Islam a political movement. Pardon me. That's what we get when Vegas has all 4 seasons in 1 week. I don't want 185,000 homeless potential terrorists. I'm using the word potential because I'm pretty sure 185,000 of them are not going to be terrorists. But if one is, if one person is intent on spilling an innocent American person's blood, are you okay with that? Are you okay with the decision to possibly allow, if 1% of them turn out to be terrorists, that's 18,500 terrorists that you allowed into our country. And why? Why? To score points with your buddies? President Mom Jeans, I challenge you. Show me where Islam is a peaceful religion. Show me where it's a tolerant religion. Because I can show you where it's a non-peaceful, violent, and savage ideology and political movement. Has been for centuries. These are not, repeat, not normal enemies. We are at war. Now, that said, I'm going to quote some presidential quotes. Ronald Reagan, the United States of America does not negotiate with terrorists. Reagan turned out to be a pretty good president. Within the first year of George W. Bush's first term, we will make no distinction between the people who knock down these buildings and the countries that harbor these terrorists. Barack Obama, all Muslims are not bad. Islam is a religion of peace. Think about that. Now, I'm not going to start this whole nonsense of Barack Obama being a Muslim, and I don't really care where his birth certificate's from. I don't care where he is from. My problem with him remains where he lives now. For once in your life, in the last 6 years, Barack Obama, I challenge you to put the American people's interest before your own. We need to stand up to the enemy. If you sympathize with the enemy, you are the enemy. So prayers for Paris, prayers for those affected by ISIS. And here's the thing. All lives do matter. Except ISIS. Fuck ISIS. Guess what? Fuck Allah. And if you support ISIS, if you sympathize with them, fuck you. God bless America. Out.